A bulletin board. What can we do with it?
Well, in my room, I use bulletin boards to display the children's work in a unit of study.
I find bulletin boards helpful in making announcements and in keeping students reminded of coming events.
I like to use bulletin boards in teaching basic subject matter, such as a mathematical formula. By participation in this way, the student can see more clearly what the formula means.
It seems to me that bulletin boards are used in many different ways, and they take many different forms, too. The form a bulletin board takes, as well as its content, should be related to its purpose and its audience.
That's a good point. No matter what we do with our bulletin boards, our audience must be considered first. For instance, a bulletin board must be easy to see, so we are concerned with placement. Opposite an entrance is a good place to catch the eye. Such a spot is particularly appropriate for items of immediate concern. However, for demonstrations, you will want to place your bulletin board in front of the class. This same board, when moved to a different place, can be used for reference. General interest and reference boards can be located in a part of the room where they will not be distracting and can be seen during informal periods. So you see that you choose the place in the room that fits your purpose.
Could you give us some idea of how large a bulletin board should be? And what about the size of material?
Well, of course, that depends upon the distance from the viewer. If one person at a time is to see the board up close, it can be fairly small. But if you want an entire class to see it at once, then it's better for the board and its material to be large and bold.
And what about the height?
Well, the eye level of the audience determines that.
Isn't lighting also a consideration in placement?
Oh, yes. Sometimes you may want to add a special source of light for your bulletin board.
Now, what about holding the viewer's eye after we've caught it?
Good design helps to do both. You can make your design effective by selecting and arranging such elements as pictures, colors, textures, letters, and the base material.
The base material?
Yes, that's the material your bulletin board is made of. If the base material is soft fiberboard, then it's easy to use thumbtacks. Because this fiberboard is soft and porous, the edges are easily damaged, so it's best to frame them.
But don't thumbtacks leave ugly holes?
Well, you can always paint fiberboard. Then holes aren't too noticeable. You can also conceal scars by covering the bulletin board with cloth. Cloth provides a wide choice of textures and colors. Straight pens may also be used on fiberboard, and they are less noticeable than thumbtacks. Cork bulletin boards grip tacks and pens well. Also, there's no problem of holes. Sheet cork comes in several colors, too. Cork flooring blocks can be used as well as sheets of cork. You can either use bulletin board wax or double-faced tape quite satisfactorily on cork. Peg boards are durable. They could be made into portable partitions with separated facings. Facings which can be used for bulletin boards, but which may be left blank without detracting from the general appearance of the room. A single pegboard is usually set out a bit from the wall to allow space for mounting devices that extend through the holes. Frames are unnecessary, and the board can be cut into shapes without danger of collapsing. You can make a material stand out by mounting it on golf tees that are capped with wax. Also, ribbon can be used with tees to emphasize outlines. Hooks are better than tees for suspending heavy materials. Neither hooks nor tees mar the surface. A display board of sheet metal has a surface that is durable and easy to clean. Magnets are used to mount lightweight materials of paper or balsa wood and are easy to manipulate. Metal surfaces of woven textures offer a variety of backgrounds. Materials can be held in place with magnets, hooks, or wax. Even a rope can be used as a background, providing simplicity and flexibility.
What kinds of materials have visual appeal when displayed on a bulletin board?
Well, you can use pictures from magazines, artwork made by your class, photographs you've collected, or even models and real objects.
And lettering? What choices do we have?
Bold letters are needed for captions and titles on most bulletin boards. Rubber stamps are good for this purpose, and they are easy to use. Commercially made letters with gum backs are often time savers. Then there are paper stencils of different sizes, which can be filled in with your own choice of color. You can buy or make three-dimensional cutout letters with pen backs. Mechanical lettering offers flexibility. When adding more reading material than usual, this kind of lettering is less expensive.
Now, how do we organize all these materials into an attractive design?
Some people find magazine advertisements a source of design ideas.
Let me see. How about this one? Looks like it might work. I think I'll try it. I could try reproducing it right here on the desk. That one would go up there. And that one there. Now let's see. That one there, of course. And between these two, that one looks like it could go there. And maybe this one down here. I believe that's right. I'd have to take about this much off and maybe this much off. I think that'll do it.
When you use advertisements for designs, you will want your letters to be larger, and you will want to integrate your captions with other design elements. But you can be your own source of design ideas. Sometimes in planning a layout, it is helpful to manipulate blank paper forms to see the relationships of the picture areas. In this way, you can imagine an arrangement of 8 pictures of uniform size, looking like this. Such a formal arrangement is also useful in displaying students' written work. But it is too static when applied to the more dynamic subject of jet aviation. But suppose you have pictures of different sizes. You will probably want to emphasize one picture of outstanding interest. Maybe it's the largest.
But what if it's the smallest?
Then you rearrange them. If the smallest picture needs still more emphasis, you can add a color background. By keeping your purpose and audience in mind, each board can be unique. For variety of style, you need not sacrifice unity and simplicity.
Don't you find it hard to keep an audience interested in your bulletin board?
I certainly do if I don't change my display often enough. In fact, I'd rather leave a board blank for a few days than leave a display up too long. Then my students can't wait to see what comes next.
I find I can keep up interest longer if I rearrange some of the material or substitute some items which are new.
One of the best ways I've found of creating interest is to let the children participate in planning and making the bulletin board display. They learn a lot about the subject matter as well as planning the layout. And there are the more lasting values which come from students learning to work together and learning to share individual responsibilities. Bulletin boards bring their rewards, too. The satisfaction of knowing that you've been able to get across an idea to someone else. When others give their approval, the children feel their rewards more strongly.
Yes, those rewards are well known by all of us who use bulletin boards. But our audiences reap more important rewards. Rewards which depend on how well we use our bulletin boards. After all, our bulletin boards are what we make them.